We're going to talk about Chennedy Carter, but it looks like she's blacklisted. And she will be playing professional basketball during the season, but it won't be for the WNBA.
Is attacking Caitlin Clark worth losing your entire WNBA career? Chennedy Carter just answered that question for all of us. After more than 120 days without a single WNBA team willing to sign her, and with training camp starting today, Carter has officially made her move to Mexico's Professional Basketball League.
Seriously, she needs to do whatever she can to get some help, get her anger under control, where she will not have another incident like the one where she slammed into Caitlin Clark. She's out of the league.
This isn't just another player changing teams. This is the Chicago Sky's leading scorer being completely and officially fired from the league after a deliberate hit on the WNBA's Golden Goose. The Sky let their star player walk away without even trying to get something in return, and nobody wanted to pick her up, despite an MVP performance overseas. That doesn't just happen without a serious reason. Let me know down in the comments below if Chennedy deserves it. Let's break down exactly how it happened, where she's heading, and her response to all of this. Let's go.
Despite the solid fourth season from Carter, an incident with Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark stood out to many. The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year came in the league, became arguably the most popular player. There, I cleaned it up for you, which may have rubbed some people the wrong way, including Carter.
Picture this. June 1st, 2024. The Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever. A single game in a long WNBA season that nobody realized would become infamous. With the score tight throughout, eventually ending in a narrow 71-70 Fever victory, tensions were already running high when everything changed in an instant.
Her and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
The moment unfolded after a Chicago basket. As players transitioned to the other end, there was a brief window where Carter and Clark crossed paths. Nothing unusual in the flow of a basketball game. But what happened next was anything but routine. Carter, seemingly going about her business, suddenly altered her trajectory. The change wasn't subtle, it was deliberate, calculated. She veered directly into Clark's path and delivered a hip check that sent the rookie sprawling across the hardwood. And let's not forget Angel Reese caught on camera jumping and clapping on the sidelines immediately after the contact happened.
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
The collision wasn't a typical basketball play. It wasn't even a normal hard foul. This was something different, something that made the arena collectively gasp. The live broadcast caught every second of it, and you could hear the commentators' voices shift from game analysis to genuine shock. What was that? Became the immediate question rippling through the crowd as Clark hit the floor. Officials didn't hesitate to blow the whistle, initially calling a regular foul. But even in real time, everyone knew this deserved closer examination. The referees huddled around the monitor, reviewing the footage that millions would soon be dissecting on social media. Their verdict? Still a common foul, but was then upgraded to a flagrant foul the day after. Official confirmation that the contact was non-basketball in nature and potentially dangerous.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest here.
What's particularly telling about this incident wasn't just the hit itself, but Clark's response to it. Where many players might have jumped up ready for confrontation, Clark simply rose to her feet, composed herself, and continued playing. No theatrics, no escalation, just a rookie showing veteran poise in a heated moment. This contrast between Carter's aggression and Clark's composure only amplified the narrative taking shape. Analyses of shooting percentages and defensive rotations were abandoned for frame-by-frame breakdowns of Carter's movements. Was she targeting Clark because of her rookie status? Was this personal? Professional jealousy? The questions multiplied while the basketball itself became secondary.
Something's got to wake her up too. You know? I mean, something's got to wake her up and say, man, I could be in the WNBA right now, starting on a team, being their leading scorer. I've got to get my temper and my head under control. I got to figure it out somehow.
What nobody realized in that moment, not Carter, not Clark, not anyone watching, was that this 5-second sequence would fundamentally alter Carter's career trajectory. This wasn't just a bad decision in the heat of competition. It was the beginning of her professional unraveling. A single physical play that would start a domino effect, eventually pushing her out of the league entirely.
There's no doubt Chennedy Carter is extremely talented, but she's got to get her head screwed on straight.
And if the hit itself wasn't damaging enough to Carter's reputation, what came next would prove catastrophic. Because when the cameras turned to Carter postgame, giving her a chance to explain or perhaps apologize, her response would pour industrial-strength fuel on an already raging fire.
That she knocked Caitlin Clark to the floor. We all saw it, a flagrant foul. And many people, including myself, thought it was borderline assault. It was awful.
The cameras kept rolling as Carter entered the post-game press conference, offering her the perfect chance to reset the narrative. One well-crafted statement could have changed everything. An apology, an explanation, even just acknowledging what happened might have softened the blow. Instead, with reporters giving her an open mic to address the elephant in the room, Carter delivered 7 words that would prove more devastating than any hip check. I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
And then Kennedy just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that moment between you and Caitlin. What was that play, what was said, and kind of what led to.
Next question.
Yeah, I mean, play before Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit.
Yeah.
After
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough. We're good.
She's good.
Those 7 words ricocheted through basketball circles with remarkable speed. Within hours, sports analysts who might have defended the on-court incident as just physical basketball found themselves unable to justify Carter's post-game attitude. Her refusal to address the situation turned what could have been a one-day story into a weeks-long examination of her character. And while the hip check had raised eyebrows, this response raised red flags.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's just like, just respond, calm down, let your play do the talking. It is what it is. It's a physical game. Go make the free throw and then execute on offense. And I feel like that's kind of what we did, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
What makes Carter's response even more damaging is how it contrasted with Clark's own handling of the situation. While Carter dodged responsibility, Clark told reporters, "Basketball's competitive. I get it. Emotions get the best of you. It happened to me too." One player demonstrated maturity and understanding. The other showed a startling lack of accountability that left league executives whispering.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
This perception problem quickly spread beyond just angry fans on social media. Team executives and league officials, the very people who make hiring decisions, were watching. In professional sports, talent always matters, but it's rarely the only consideration. The question became not, can she play? But, is she worth the disruption? Carter's dismissive attitude created internal chemistry issues within the Chicago Sky locker room, with teammates and coaches reportedly reacting negatively to her comments.
I mean, she can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she can. She's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, an instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
The damage wasn't limited to public perception. It created real friction inside her own team. The locker room tension following her comments made an already difficult situation nearly impossible. Basketball remains, at its core, a team sport. When one player refuses to acknowledge behavior that reflected poorly on the entire organization, it fractures the trust essential to success. And so, the Chicago Sky made the ultimate decision of letting her go in free agency without a contract offer, and no other team decided to pick her up. One GM was even anonymously quoted in saying, "We won't touch her even with a 10-foot pole."
Can you break down that situation that happened?
Yeah. So, in basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, you know, that's a part of basketball.
For nearly a year, Carter maintained public silence about the incident, until last week when she apparently felt compelled to explain herself during an interview with controversial podcaster Neon. Her explanation, it was just a light tap. Yes, the same collision that sent Clark sprawling across the court and earned an immediate flagrant foul call was, in Carter's revisionist history, barely a love tap between friends.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said. And then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court. Then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull up. And then I just like, you know, just give her like a little, like, I'm here. Like, you know, I don't think it was, you know what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
You almost have to admire the commitment to the bit. After watching the replay hundreds of times, most viewers can clearly see Carter changing direction specifically to make contact. But suddenly it's being described like an accidental brush in a crowded elevator. This late attempt at damage control raises the question, why break your silence now, months after it could have helped, with an explanation nobody believes?
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things, like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened. Then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to
put out. You watch every game, every single game, to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's why I said they're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. You know, if you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
The timing suggests something more calculated. Perhaps seeing her basketball options dwindling, Carter was attempting to rehabilitate her image just enough to keep her career alive. But the half-hearted explanation only reinforced what many already believed. This was someone unwilling to take genuine responsibility for her actions.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player, she's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's gonna have their views on it. But my personal view is, you know, I don't have anything against her. She's a great player, and so am I. And I've got buckets all that season, you know what I'm saying? So, just one of those things that, I love it though. They think I hate it. I love it. I love when it gets riled up and juicy like that.
You feed off of like what people say and shit, and it makes you more motivated.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I love the hate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What makes Carter's situation particularly fascinating is that nobody questions her basketball ability. Her 17.5 points per game last season represented a career high. On talent alone, multiple WNBA teams should have been lining up with contract offers. Instead, the combination of that flagrant foul and her subsequent response made her radioactive in league circles.
She did. She stopped and went through. Like, oh. Like, that is not... We watched the clip. There is no way that we're letting this happen. Like, saying that it was nothing. Like this is not just a tap.
Basketball executives understand that chemistry matters, especially in women's basketball where team cohesion often determines success. Signing Carter wasn't just about adding a talented scorer. It meant potentially introducing disruption to a carefully balanced locker room. Her unwillingness to take responsibility for her actions raised serious questions about how she might respond to coaching, criticism, or future incidents.
This is crazy, and this changes everything, because all this time, we've been waiting on Chennedy Carter to take responsibility for what she did to Caitlin Clark. It shows me, I ain't even got to watch all this footage right here, but I am going to look at it, but it's showing me right now that she still is not taking responsibility for her actions. She's finna blame this whole situation on Caitlin Clark supposedly talking smack to her.
While most fans first learned Carter's name after that infamous hip check, WNBA insiders had been exchanging concerned glances about her for years. The truth is that Carter's professional troubles began long before she ever shared a court with Caitlin Clark. Turn the clock back to 2021, when Carter was playing for the Atlanta Dream. Midway through the season, the team suspended her for what they vaguely termed conduct detrimental to the team. This wasn't a minor disciplinary action. It was a significant mid-season suspension following an unspecified argument that disrupted team harmony. The Dream's decision to bench one of their talented young players sent ripples through the league, marking Carter as someone with potential chemistry issues.
Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
After Atlanta, Carter found herself traded to the Los Angeles Sparks, where her pattern of problematic behavior continued. Despite her scoring ability, reports surfaced that Carter received reduced playing time specifically due to poor conduct, a polite way of saying her behavior was again causing issues. The Sparks coaching staff clearly made a choice to limit her minutes despite her offensive talents, prioritizing team cohesion over individual scoring.
I mean, good luck. Good luck. I don't know who's going to take her. I don't know what teams are going to take her. No, I don't think she's going to the Indiana Fever. I mean, yeah, bring her in after what happened. I don't think so.
This recurring theme, talent overshadowed by temperament, began forming a narrative around Carter that few players can overcome. By the time she joined the Chicago Sky, whispers about her difficult personality had evolved into full-blown concerns among league executives. You know what's truly revealing? Despite averaging 14.6 points on an impressive 47.3% shooting across her career, teams remained hesitant about bringing Carter aboard. One anonymous executive even described her as radioactive, an extraordinary label for a player with such obvious scoring ability. This wasn't just casual gossip. It represented the consensus view among those making personnel decisions across the league.
During the 2024 WNBA season, guard Chennedy Carter emerged as a key player for the Chicago Sky, leading the team in scoring with 17.5 points per game, a career high. She would still be probably their best pure offensive weapon if she was still on that team. Now, there's a world where Camila Cardoso, and I've said this, will be their best player this year, provided they allow her to ball, or provided Angel Reese gets the hell out of the way, one of the two.
The most damning evidence of how her reputation had deteriorated came after her standout 2024 season with Chicago. Despite leading the Sky in scoring with a career-best 17.5 points per game and appearing in 33 games, the most in her career, the team made the stunning decision not to extend a qualifying offer. Think about that for a moment. A team willingly let their leading scorer walk away for absolutely nothing in return. This wasn't a basketball decision. It was a clear statement about values and team culture. The Sky essentially announced to the entire league that Carter's scoring wasn't worth the off-court baggage she brought with her. And in a telling response, not a single one of the other 11 WNBA teams stepped forward to sign her, even as they filled out their rosters for the upcoming 2025 season.
Fast forward to Friday, Carter, who saw her one-year deal with the Sky come to an end, has yet to sign with the WNBA team. With training camp right around the corner, Carter has elected to join a different league as she awaits another shot at the WNBA. Chennedy Carter has taken her talents to the Mexican, and I'm not even trying to pronounce that, the LMBPF. Long story short, it's in Mexico, and it looks like a women's Mexican basketball league, professional basketball league.
After more than 120 days of free agency without a contract offer, Carter's WNBA exit is now official. She signed with Adelitas de Chihuahua of Mexico's female basketball league, essentially signaling the end of her time in the world's premier women's basketball league. The Mexican team proudly announced her signing on Instagram, highlighting her achievements and welcoming her to their roster.
She's joining a women's basketball league in Mexico. The WNBA thing looks like a wrap for her for now. And in case you're wondering, she averaged 17.5 points a game last year and literally shot 50% from the field for the Chicago Sky. And she's 26 years old. I get it. I mean, she's got to lay in the bed she made.
Carter won't be alone in her Mexican basketball journey. She'll be joined by guard Victoria Vivian, who played 6 seasons with the Indiana Fever before a brief stint with the Seattle Storm in 2024. For Carter, this represents both a fresh start and a significant step down from the platform and prestige of the WNBA. Could she become a star in the LNBPF? Almost certainly. Her talent hasn't diminished, just her reputation. But the real question is whether this move represents a temporary detour or a permanent exit from the highest levels of women's basketball.
And, I mean, I don't know what's going to be a wake-up call. I would hope Chennedy Carter would turn her focus of all of her anger into something positive and she would become a great WNBA player. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this season.
The WNBA isn't just elevating its game, it's transforming its culture. As Chennedy Carter heads to Mexico, the message couldn't be clearer. Skill without character won't cut it anymore.
Chennedy Carter, she got a new job. Adios, amigos.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are painting a completely different picture for 2025. With record-breaking attendance and viewership, Clark's impact extends far beyond the court. Her jersey tops league merchandise sales, driving an astounding 11 times increase in overall player merchandise revenue. The contrast is striking. While Carter rebuilds in Mexico, the WNBA continues strengthening its professional standards with stricter rules and higher expectations, showing exactly what today's league values most. Let me know down in the comments below if Chennedy deserves it. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.